Hi, I'm Rose McDonough, and I'm a retired teacher, but today I'm working on a project I've never done before. I've read several blogs, I've watched some videos, and we'll see how it will go. So we just recently bought this townhouse, and we got this fireplace behind us that, I don't have an elk head to hang beside it, and I'm not really sure we like it too much. So I decided the new style is whitewashing, and that's what we're going to do, is whitewash it. What we need is some paint and a few tools. So my first tool that I need, of course, is some paint, and I need this weird little applicator thing, and I'll let you know how it goes along as it's coming. We're gonna make chalk paint. I'm also going to use a Valspar angled paintbrush. I've read about different things, and everything I have read says that this one for wall and trim is the best because I need to be able to get into these cracks. And what I have read has told me that we need to do some small areas. So I'm going to start way down on the bottom. I know you should work from the top down, but over there in the corner, if I make a mistake when I'm first starting out, no one is likely to see it because the rest of the room is over here and behind me. So I have my paint and I need to make chalk paint out of it. I have done chalk paint several times in the past few years, and you can buy chalk paint. Woohoo, it's got a price tag on it. So instead, I went and I bought this homebrew stuff called calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate. And what you can use with that is to also, how weird is that? Mix beer. Not making beer, I'm making my chalk paint. The recipe that I found that I have used is 1 cup of paint. And I'm probably gonna have to do several batches, but 1 cup of paint will go pretty far. 1 cup of paint, I need 4 tablespoons of the calcium, and I need roughly 2 tablespoons of water. So what you wanna do is into a container, and I'm just gonna use an old yogurt container, a large yogurt container. Into that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna put my calcium carbonate. I'm going to put the water in it and mix it up. And it almost makes kind of like a paste. And then I'm adding 1 cup of paint to it. And I'm going to mix that. And then I'm going to start and I'm going to do little bits and pieces. I'm going to paint in first with the brush. And then I'm going to go ahead and paint over top, again, over the edges. Let me make sure that I'm making sense here. So I'm going to start in here, I'm going to go in here, and then I'm going to paint over top of here, but then I will use that applicator to wipe all that down. It's very rough, so I also have a rag to use in case I need that. That's what you're basically doing, is a rag wash on there. We don't know what it's going to turn out. We're hoping that it's good. I'm not like real thrilled about the block kind of idea over there. So we'll see. So I'm gonna go change my clothes and get my paint all mixed up, and I'll show you little bits and pieces as I'm going along. So I've got my painting clothes on. I've been wearing these every time I've painted for probably the last 3 years. And I'm ready to go. And I've done a little bit here along the corners. And I really like how it's going. Now I will tell you the problem is I'm supposed to be able to use that really cool brush, but I can't do that. I noticed that I can't use that blending brush, whatever it is, because the brick is way, way, way too rough. So I'm just having to use the paint brush, and I'm digging my way in, and we're going from there. I'm gonna flip it around so that I can show you exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so I have my brush here. I'm just dipping it a little bit into this paint mixture that I've made, and I'm coming up on here, and I'm adding it in, the paint on there, and then I'm brushing down. Once I get a little bit of paint on there, then I just do this, and I'm filling in. You can see the corners or spaces in here, the cracks and crevices. So everything I have watched and read said I'm going to have to do 2 coats. I'm obviously thinking that the second coat is going to go much faster, but as this is going in, I just have to keep filling it in. I don't know if it's supposed to be faster than this some other way, but as I've just started out working on it, this is the only way I can figure out how to do it. So I'll show you the project as we continue on. So I just want to give a quick update here as I've been working on this. A little bit too heavy on the bottom, which I am going to go ahead and take a little bit of sandpaper and take a little bit of it off. But the other part I think is looking really good. So there's the top that's not done yet, and then here's the bottom. I have been finding as I'm working that I could not use the sponge. I've had to completely go and use the brush, almost completely. So I know this isn't the best since I'm videotaping it and not Brooke. She's not here. So what I do is I take the brush, and you see how it's a little bit watery? I'm on my second cup. That's all I'm using at this point. And you just go brushing like this. And it is a north-south, east-west, east-west. And that's about it. That's all you have to do, and it covers relatively quickly. And then I stop and I just grab a little bit more, and that's how fast it covers. I did find out also that I use 2 teaspoons, which is what I would, of water, that I would be using for my chalk paint, but I found out that I needed to do 2 tablespoons. I said teaspoons. 2 tablespoons, and then I also needed maybe a half of a teaspoon to a teaspoon more, just to thin it out a little bit more, and it went faster. I also find that as I keep crawling up and down, moving around, I find some areas that I think that I might need to add a little bit onto. But all in all, I'm thinking it's looking really, really good. I'm very happy with it so far. I'll show you the next part. So what I'm doing is actually just touching the end of my brush in there. And once I touch it in, I let some of that paint drip off. Remember, it's a little bit wetter because I've used some water and the calcium chloride. And then I'm filling in all the way along in here where I guess the cement is. Once I get large pieces done, then I dip in. I'm dripping off because I don't want to drip everywhere, although please don't look well, you'll see that I've dripped a lot. And then I'm just quickly splattering over top of it. Again, going up, down, side to side, left, right, northwest, however you want to say it, north, south, east, west. And that's about it, and it's just filling in. What I have found that I've had to do is get off the ladder and go down because the brick has so much depth to it that I've got to go underneath and make sure, did I get spots here, did I get here? But all in all, I think it is just looking absolutely wonderful. What a great way to bring this back to life. After we're all finished with this tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead with this fake piece of wood, and I'm going to put a primer on it. I'm going to hit it with white, and it'll also be matte, and we'll be finished with this. And as Cole said, we've got a nail up here. Won't this look beautiful with a green wreath hanging on it? Okay, I'm all finished. Actually, I've been painting a whole lot of stuff, but I'm finished with the fireplace. I want to turn around so that you can see it, but first I'm going to lift up here and walk back. So the very top of it, I decided to do in kind of like a dove gray, just to give it a little bit of difference when you're walking up to it. I think the whole thing looks pretty good. What do you think? I'm also thinking that as time goes on here, the 2 walls that are closest to the fireplace, we're going to make them an accent wall and maybe do those, and also a gray with just a bit more blue added to it. So that was why I wanted to tie in the very top of it. It wasn't a hard job at all, but seriously, you need to have the right tools. Get a good brush. That little brush that I had was the best brush ever. Really strong bristles, and it was definitely the way to go. Can't do a shout out for anybody because I'm off site here in Ohio, just working on this stuff. So I hope you all have a good evening. Like, subscribe, do all the things that you're supposed to do, and come back again, please. Thanks, bye.